Here I am, season, sitting on a little piece of structure, not too far offshore here. Actually, fishing a lot shallower than I usually am fishing. So last night it resulted in a small walleye and a pike. So I'm starting to think, usually I always had the most success like further out there, but I'm starting to think that maybe this year the closer to shore structure is gonna pan out a little more for me, or at least like let me tell you, I haven't caught a walleye in a few weeks. Like up here, it can be really on and off, but I can tell you that the perch is usually on, but right now it's like sorry, I'm getting messages from people here. I didn't even realize this was a part of this live broadcasting thing. Anyway, so yeah, this year I've been having a lot of trouble further out. So I'm starting to think that maybe I should have been fishing closer to shore. In historical times, closer to shore was a no go. Except in the spring, it was always great. And but yeah, in the winter, it was always like you had to be way out on these clam beds out there, and that's okay. It's like it's a nice little walk, but that's where you'd pick up like lots of perch and the occasional walleye, pike as well. But this year is very slow on the walleye. I must say it must have been the first few weeks of the season I caught maybe like four or five, and then like I just saw one yesterday. And like I said, so I think they're a little bit closer to shore now. I'm hoping, I get starting to move closer to shore because it's like you know, getting closer to their breeding season, I assume. So anyway, the little piece of structure I'm on here is just like a little wee little like thumb that comes out into the lake. It's great in the summertime. It's like comes up to about 6 feet when you have and all around it, pardon me, is all like about 13 feet. So you just sort of like drive your crankbaits over top of that, like just troll right over that. And usually there's bass and there's wallies and there's pike, like you name it. What's funny is that oftentimes in the summer I rarely catch perch, but the wintertime that's all I catch. It's like mostly perch, but summertime, no. It's like every once in a while I'm pretty happy. Need to give it a better shot. Just like get out to where I usually catch them in the winter and just caught anything today yet, but I was only out for an hour this morning, and then after that, like I just sort of got out here, like I just got out here like I don't know. Is it cold out today? I can tell you it is not cold. It is very very mild. In fact, it was raining earlier, and I thought I was going to get pretty wet, but turns out that the rain was really on and off. I got another question here. Kevin's asking me how many inches. Boy, I tell you, there's about like 2 feet of snow on top of the ice, and as soon as you pop a hole through the ice, it floods up, and you get like it comes right up to the top of the snow. But that's not the actual ice, It's like that's just where the snow is. But I guess all the weight from the snow is pressure, creating pressure. It's causing the water to come up. Serious slush problems. But if I'm looking down the hole, I'm gonna say you probably have 2 feet for sure of like pure ice, but and then like a lot of the slush on top has been like slowly like you know freezing up itself, so it's like adding more. But it wouldn't surprise me if there's like 2 to 3 feet of ice right now. Now, unfortunately, the ruler I used to use for measuring the ice during the ice reports, I kind of left that in a snowdrift like earlier on, and I haven't seen it since. So I'm gonna say that it's gone now, for good. Like a lot of times when it sits on the snow, you'd be surprised how much like just the weight of some little metal thing will like melt it into the snow, and like with the sun on it, it'll just like keep melting into the snow until it's melted right into the ice. So you just hook it down there, and then get a good measurement on there. I saw there was a message from somebody in Buffalo, New York there. You know, that's like all over the place. Like one time I was in Canadian Tire and some guy came up to me. He's like, "Hey, you're that guy from YouTube, aren't you?" And I was like, "I am indeed." And it turned out the guy was like from Texas and he had been watching from Texas. I think he had like a summer home up here or something like that. But it was kind of nifty to think like, oh, a dude in Texas is watching for real fishing. I think that's pretty fantastic. Um, I've had people, yeah, from Buffalo and stuff like that that are watching and other parts of the world. It's pretty nifty. I'm getting some more messages. You know, guy just asked me if I got any ling this year, and I tell you, I think the guy's name was Paul. Yeah. Um, you know, ling are really on and off here. It's crazy. The only consistent thing is always the perch, you know? So like I do catch ling here. I don't know what the scoop is. Like, you know, this of like, you know, sheep. Um, the guy says they've been getting walleye and trout in the upper Niagara River. No doubt. I'd love to fish down there at some point. I haven't done it, but I've seen lots of great videos of dudes fishing here, change up my lures. I'll probably get back to you guys. Like these are the last days, so I might as well add like a few live chats here and there and then just keep rolling with it. Why not, you know? But at the moment, you know, I got to put some effort into the jigging and you know, varying my style of jigging until I finally catch fish. But we'll see. It's tough to fire on the live feed like real quick, but have, you know, a nice picture of me holding, I don't know, something. You know, all right. Anyway, we'll talk to you guys later, and we'll be back on the air later tonight with a lantern, probably lighting my face. Why not, eh?